All right, they're coming in. Folks, please put your audio on mute until I call your case. Please put your audio on mute until I call your case. And we will get started as soon as everyone is connected here. Just to repeat, please put your audio on mute until I call your case so that we don't get feedback.
Hello?
Please put your audio on mute until I call your case. And once everyone is connected and on mute, we will begin.
Now I can listen. Hello.
Please put your audio on mute until I call your case so that we don't get feedback. Okay, Madam Clerk, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. First up, do I have Chantel Johannesson?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, it says Maverick, but your name is Chantel Johannesson, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you do not have a lawyer. This is a speeding ticket, and I just received an email this morning. Actually, I just received it a few minutes ago that the officer involved in your case has a family emergency and cannot be here today. So I'm going to give you an option. I can make you an offer and you can accept it if you want to resolve your ticket, or we will continue this to another docket. Do you understand all of that so far?
Okay, so he's unable to be there, and therefore you're going to give me an option for me to decide whether I want to go. Are you going to tell me the option first, and then I have a choice to decide? Oh, okay.
Of course.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to give you an offer. I'll make an offer to you to resolve the ticket. The offer is a withhold of adjudication, which means no points. You would have to pay a $200 fine plus court costs and do a 4-hour course, which is a driving course you do online. And you would have to get that done within 30 days. So that's no points. You would either pay that in full in 30 days or work out a payment plan with the clerk. So you can accept that, or we can continue this for a hearing when the officer can participate.
Okay, it's going to be the third time that I'm going to have to reschedule because
okay, well, there's a family emergency,
like he contributed.
So it's up to you.
I understand, and I totally, he will be in my prayers as he is every day when I went to mass for. Anyway, so.
Okay. You want to set it for a hearing or accept that?
Okay. The thing is, okay, let me just clearly understand. So there will be
no points.
So all right. I feel like he had a contribution to what happened, sir.
Okay, well, ma'am, the explanation doesn't really affect me right now. I mean, I'm happy. I've got over 40 cases,
okay,
and I know you want to tell me your side of the story, but I can't have a trial right now without the police officer. So if you want to tell me your side of the story and you believe he contributed in some way, then let's just continue this for another trial. Would you like to do that?
Okay, sir. I believe I would, because justice is justice, regardless of how you
Agreed.
see.
I agree. Madam Clerk, what's the next court date for Miss Johannesson, please?
It will be March 10th at 1:30.
March 10th at 1:30. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Have a wonderful day, sir.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
And folks.
All right, they'll send me the letter. You will send me the letter?
The clerk will.
Okay, thank you. I can leave now?
You can leave. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much, Your Honor. Have a wonderful week. Thank you.
You too. Robert Haas, are you here? Robert Haas. Richard Glazer. Richard Glazer. Yerlin Garcia Feliz.
Making noises in the woods.
I think I heard you. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Are you here?
Yeah.
What is your name?
Yerlene A. Garcia Feliz.
Okay. Do I have an officer here for this case? Yerlene Garcia Feliz.
Mm-hmm.
This is a speeding ticket with Trooper Waddell. Trooper, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I'm asking for the trooper, ma'am. Just give me a second, please.
Okay.
Trooper Waddell. Do I have any troopers here who know about Trooper Waddell?
Your Honor, I go ahead and give him a call.
All right, thank you. Miss Garcia Feliz, I'll recall your case shortly. Give me just a few minutes.
Okay.
Jack Fredetsky.
I'm here.
All right, Mr. Fredetsky is here on a speeding ticket. With Trooper Diaz. Are you here?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here as well. If you don't mind, Your Honor, I would like my case called back in a few minutes. I'm having some difficulties opening up where I keep my notes, doing
Okay,
some
I'll call
downloads,
you.
updates at the moment.
Okay, I'll recall this case shortly. How about Caitlin Finuccio?
Thank you.
Caitlin, she is here. Okay, thank you. Let's see, Finuccio, this is a speeding ticket with Master Sergeant Garcia. Are you here?
I'm here, Your Honor. I was calling the other trooper.
All right, and are both of you ready for a hearing?
Yes.
I am.
Well, I am, yes.
All right, I need you both to raise your right hand to take an oath. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. Sergeant, we're going to start with you. Tell me about this incident, please.
Your Honor, on October 29, 2020 at around 3:30 in the afternoon, I was in the median facing traffic heading westbound on Oil Well. And I observed it was a silver Honda on the left lane passing a truck fast. I estimated the speed at about 65 miles an hour. I activated my radar on stationary mode, got a target speed of 64 in a 45, conducted a traffic stop. The lady was introduced was identified by a Florida driver's license. And basically she told me that she thought that it was 60 miles an hour the posted speed limit. I told her that it was 45 and it was posted. And this happened in Collier County, Florida.
All right, thank you. Ma'am, is there anything you would like to say?
Yes, so first I would like to address the radar. So it is considered to be one of the less reliable methods of speed detection, but although it is commonly a speed measurement device used, especially in the state of Florida, it needs officers in Florida are required to be certified, which I presume Officer Garcia is certified in use of the radar. So they're not required to show you the readout on the radar device, meaning that radar tickets are essentially written on the honesty system, and the officers must calibrate the dual stalker radar, which is the one that was presumably used on the ticket device before every shift. It must be professionally calibrated as well by the certified manufacturer at least every 6 months. So although it does use a high frequency, it can still target the wrong vehicle. And I was in fact traveling in a 2012 Honda Insight, which is about the equivalent size of a Prius, if you're unfamiliar. And I was traveling behind a much larger white minivan. So it is very likely that the radar did in fact pick up the minivan. So to give you some background on kind of the whole thing that played out, it was on the correct time, the correct road. It was in the median facing the oncoming traffic. So I was traveling behind the minivan, approximately the appropriate distance, so I could clearly see the back tires of the minivan. So he was, quote unquote, leading the pack of just us two, because it was only us two on the road. When he clearly noticed Officer Garcia's car, at this point I could not see the police cruiser Even if I could, my goal at that point was to maneuver around the minivan as he had abruptly stopped. And in order for me to do so, I quickly moved over to the right lane and to avoid any accident. So I may have increased my speed in order to switch lanes to avoid hitting the minivan. But immediately after I was faced with any other lane from the minivan, I let off the gas to reduce my speed back to the speed which was posted.
Okay, ma'am, I'm going to interrupt you real quickly here. Folks, if you're not involved in this hearing, please put your audio on mute. We're getting a lot of feedback, and it would be helpful if you would put yourself on mute until I call your case. All right, go ahead.
Is your name?
Okay, so at this point, I was now in front of leading the pack as the minivan had hit their brakes, and that's when I did notice Garcia's cruiser in the median, in the grass. So he did pull out, and I just continued driving as I would, and he had passed the white minivan and began traveling closely behind me. And after a moment or so, he did throw on his lights, and I did pull over into one of the communities where he had pulled over as well. So when he did approach me, he was shocked too, because he was like, "Did you see me there?" And I was just as shocked as him, because I was like, I mean, I didn't at first, but when I did, I was just as shocked as you as to why I was getting pulled over. So I am a pretty reasonable person. Back in September, I was pulled over on the highway for speeding, and when I'm in the wrong, I take responsibility and accountability for it. I paid the ticket immediately, which was right here. I took a defensive driver course, which was not required, and paid for that. It was not required, requested, whatever. I did it on my own behalf because I knew at that point I was in the wrong. The only reason I took work off today, the only reason that I'm sitting here today is because I do not believe that I am fully responsible for what had occurred on that date.
Okay, so Sergeant Garcia, anything else from you?
Yes, sir. I was actually stopped in the median in the grass, and she was on the left lane passing the minivan. Now, where I was stopped, you can't see me because I was right behind an overpass. You can't see me until you're right on top of me. So basically, when I seen her car on the left lane passing the minivan fast, I knew right away she was speeding. And she's doing probably 65 miles an hour. So I quickly activated the radar on stationary mode and got a screaming 64. I came out of the median because I thought she was going to slow down, but she just kept going. That's why I asked her. I'm like, "Do you see me back there? Because you're still going." And basically, 45 miles an hour. I can tell when a car is going 45 or 65.
All right, and Sergeant, did you file paperwork in this case regarding your certification?
Yes, Your Honor, and I have it here with me.
Right. Ma'am, do you want to see that?
I would like to see that, yes, please.
All right, Sergeant, can you explain what we're looking at here?
Okay, so this is the radar log. The traffic stop happened on the 29th, which if you scroll down all the way to the 29th, you can see where I check my radar at the beginning and at the end of the shift. Basically, you do a self-test with give you, 3 speeds, 10, 35, and 65. And then at the end, it just tells you if it pass or fail. And there should be my certificates on the other page or somewhere in there that I completed a radar course.
Okay.
And then there should be the paperwork for the radar being calibrated, which I think that was August the 14th when it was calibrated.
Okay, perfect. Is it possible,
Okay.
officer, that the radar could have picked up the minivan that was traveling before me?
Negative, ma'am, because basically when I saw your car, I knew right away you were probably doing 20 over the speed limit. And the radar went ahead and confirmed what I already knew. But no, the minivan, it didn't pick up the minivan at all. It picked up your car, the Honda Inside.
And can you
Okay.
give me my
Go ahead.
vehicle was the one picked up?
I'm sorry? Well,
How-
you told me that you thought the speed limit was 60 miles an hour, and I told you that it was 45.
I did not.
All right, based on the testimony, I find the infraction did occur. I do see that you've got a clean record, so it's a withhold 150 plus costs. Thank you both.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Unger,
Present.
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Raymond Vergara,
Present on his
who's
behalf,
here? All right,
Corporal Melendez, present.
Corporal Melendez on
Yes,
Vergara.
I am. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Hey, you recall the incident?
Not specifically, no.
Okay, thank you for your honesty. I don't know if that's good enough for the court.
So, Corporal, if you don't have an independent recollection of the incident, then you can't testify, and that's what you've just said to me. Is that right?
That's correct.
Thank you.
All right, do you have a motion, Mr. Unger?
Yes, Judge. Motion to dismiss for lack of prosecution. Thank you, Trooper.
All right. Motion to dismiss is granted, Madam Clerk. That is 20 TR 21557. And Mr. Unger, I think that's it for you, right?
Yes. If I may be excused, please. Have a safe day.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Attorney Lay, Alejandro Lay. Are you here? Ley on Mota or Mata. Alejandro Lay is the attorney. No. How about Jerry Haynes? Are you here? Jerry Haynes? Mr. Grossman, you're here. I've seen you.
Yes, I am, Judge. Good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon. We have Mr. Grossman here on Valcine, 20 TR 10544. And this is a speeding ticket with Trooper Ciro Lantigua.
I'm here, Your Honor.
All right, and are you both ready for a hearing?
Judge, if I may, this was reset from last time because there was a question that I raised regarding the average speed calculator, which was noted on the certificate as having been installed but not checked. And this was reset for the trooper to, because I think, if I remember correctly, the trooper had said something about knowing what I was talking about, but needed to have time to go find the paperwork. Trooper, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've had a bunch of cases up there, but I know this was the issue as to why we continued the
Just
case.
wait for him to call my name.
Yep.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna walk right out here.
Yes, you are correct, but that function, a speed average calculator, is a separate feature, as it was explained to me by the technician of Communication International, which is the company that we use to calibrate our equipment. And on the Rule 15B-2.009, it says that basically when that separate feature is used, it needs to be calibrated separately, and that separate piece of paper needs to be shown as to say, basically saying that it's up to standards. I did not use that.
That's correct. I'm sorry. I just want to see if I can speed this up then. So you're saying that this feature is installed, but just not used. That's all.
I did not use it. Correct.
Okay, then Judge, I would change plea on this. That was the only issue we had. We were waiting to determine whether it was installed and used.
Okay, so you're changing a plea to no contest?
Yes, because I think all his other paperwork was in order.
All right, and I do have the exhibits I can show you if you haven't seen them yet.
No, I think we've resolved all the other exhibits before. This was the only question we had.
All right.
Which was resolved now.
All right, so I accept the plea of no contest. Anything else you want to say?
Judge, I don't have, I think all that they have for priors is a stop, stand, park, and a red light. They haven't had any speeding, so we look to try and obtain a withhold on this if possible.
Well, this is a high speed, as you know, and I show 2 prior moving violations, an improper passing and a red light violation. So I accept the plea of no contest. It's an adjudication, $400 fine plus costs and an 8-hour course. Madam Clerk, I don't think I've said this. It's 30 days on all cases to either pay in its entirety or at least to enter into a payment plan. So your client can pay beyond the 30 days if necessary.
And how many days does he have to get the class done, Judge?
30.
30 on that too?
Proof of completion, yes.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Grossman. Thank you, Trooper.
That's all I have, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Same here, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Trooper. Attorney Gonzalez? Carlos Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. How are you?
All right. Good afternoon. I'm fine. Thank you. You have two cases. The first one is Leon Armenteros.
Yes, correct, Judge. Sorry about that.
With Trooper Morales.
Yeah, I think we can resolve this if the attorney accept a 4-hour course.
Yeah, and Judge, Trooper, the only thing that I was going to ask for, he's a CDL driver, and I know his office, his job has told him basically that we need to resolve this in a way that wouldn't result in points so he can stay employed. If the trooper and the court would have any objection to an amendment, obviously I would accept a 4-hour course and whatever fine would come along with the original citation. I'm not sure if the trooper or the court have any objection to that being an amendment to a non-moving, obviously accepting those penalties with it.
I do have an
Trooper, I think when
he has a CDL.
Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. He has a CDL. Not only that, there was a child in the car and a black female. He was passing other vehicles. So, no. If he, I'll agree to no points.
Okay. So, Mr. Gonzalez, it sounds like he does not want to amend it, but he has no objection to a withhold with school.
Understood, Judge.
So do you want to enter a plea of no contest?
Judge, I reviewed it. I reviewed the documents online, and we'll go ahead and enter a plea at this time of no contest, please.
All right, so your plea is accepted. It's a withhold of adjudication, $200 fine, plus costs, and a 4-hour course. Thank you both.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Trooper.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, you also have Mia Wilson.
Yes, sir.
And this case is also with Trooper Morales.
On this one, Your Honor, we can also resolve this with a withhold if she has a good record.
Judge,
I show no priors.
I apologize, Judge. I didn't mean to interrupt. I had reviewed it. I believe she had no priors. We'd like to accept that Trooper's recommendation if it's okay with the court and plead no contest.
All right, plea of no contest is accepted. That's a withhold of adjudication, $150 plus costs.
Thank you so much, Judge. Thank you, Trooper. Have a great day, everybody.
All right, you as well, Mr. Gonzalez. Thank you. Mr. Day or Mr. Gorman? How about Mr. Carney? Are you here?
Good afternoon, sir. Lee Carney here.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Carney. You've got 3 cases starting with Vincent Blott.
Yes.
All right, anyone here?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You know who it is. Go ahead.
It's for Captain Gideons with the FHP.
It's Captain Gideons. All right, no response. Is anyone here from FHP who can tell us about Captain Gideons?
Your Honor, he's present. He's present. He's actually ready for court.
Well, you didn't respond. Captain Gideons, are you there?
I saw him on the screen.
Captain Gideon, can you hear me? I see him now as well. Captain Gideon, can you hear me? All right, well, we'll move on and see. I think he may have some audio problems. Your next case is Hugo Casero.
Yes, sir. Hugo Casero. Trooper Hernandez.
All right, I believe I saw him as well.
Yeah, I'm here, Judge.
All right, Mr. Carney, you ready for a hearing with Casero?
Yes,
folks,
we'll go
please put your audio. If you're not involved in this case, please put your audio on mute. Folks, I'm listening to several conversations going on at once. If you're not involved in this case, please put your audio on mute. And I'm sorry, Mr. Carney, did you say yes, you're ready for a hearing?
Yeah, we'll go forward with the hearing, sir.
All right, Trooper, will you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, sir.
On September 13th of 2020, I was stationary on the Interstate 75 near mile marker 96. I was facing east, observing westbound traffic. At approximately 8:13 p.m., I noticed a dark brown Mazda SUV westbound within the inside lane of Interstate 75, in excess of the posted speed limit of 70 miles per hour. With a visual estimate of 115 miles per hour, I activated the front antenna to my agency-issued Stalker Dual radar for a confirmed speed and digital readout of 116 miles per hour with a high-pitched audio Doppler tone that was consistent to the speed of the Mazda and was also consistent to my visual estimation. I activated my emergency equipment without losing a visual. I overtook the Mazda SUV, conducted a traffic stop on the Mazda. I conducted a driver's side approach, identified myself and the reason for the traffic stop. The driver was identified via FCIC, NCIC by his first, last name, date of birth, and social security number as Caseros Hugo. Mr. Caseros was subsequently cited for speed and also issued a notice to appear for driving on a suspended license. All accounts secured in Collier County, Florida.
All right, Trooper, I understand your visual estimate was 115, confirmed at 116. What was the speed limit at that location, please?
Speed limit is 70 miles per hour.
All right, thank you. Mr. Carney, any questions?
So were you stationary or moving at the time?
I was stationary.
All right, fine. Was he cooperative with you?
Yeah, he was cooperative.
Was there anyone else in the vehicle with him?
No, he was by himself.
Other than the speed, did he create any other type of traffic hazard?
No.
Did you mark aggressive driving on the citation?
I don't recall if I did or not.
Well, I don't believe it does show aggressive. Okay. All right, Judge, and I have no other further questions. I have reviewed the documentation that the trooper has put on record. I have no other questions. I have no independent witnesses or testimony here.
Any argument?
He was cooperative. Just trying to avoid the points if I can, Judge.
All right, based on the testimony, I find the infraction did occur based on the speed and his extensive prior record. I cannot withhold adjudication. It is an adjudication of guilt, a $400 fine plus court costs and an 8-hour course. Thank you, Trooper.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Carney, your next case is Obed Verula.
Yes, sir.
Do we have anyone here for this case? Verula. Sergeant Ruth, I thought I saw you.
Sorry, Your Honor, hit the wrong button.
That's all right, but you are here. Okay.
I am here.
On Verula, Mr. Carney, you ready to proceed?
We'll go forward. Yes, sir.
All right, Sergeant, will you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. Obed Verula, will you tell me about this incident?
Yes, sir. This occurred on September 24th at about 5:21 p.m. on Collier Boulevard, south of Capri Boulevard, traveling in the southern direction. That's a 45-mile-an-hour zone. While conducting stationary radar, I noticed a vehicle at a high rate of speed. I estimated the speed of that vehicle to be 80 miles an hour. With my stalker radar, I was able to confirm his speed to be 79 miles an hour. I pulled him over and identified him with his Florida driver's license and asked him if everything was okay. He indicated it was, and I issued him a citation for the speed.
And this occurred in Collier County?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carney, do you have cross?
Was there anyone else in the vehicle with him, Sergeant?
I don't have notes of anybody else in the vehicle, sir.
Was he cooperative with you?
Yes.
Okay. Did he create any other hazard other than what you stopped him for?
No, that was sufficient.
All right. Judge, I have checked the case docketing, but I don't see any exhibits here regarding this violation.
Sergeant, did you file any?
I did. They were filed back on December the 29th, Your Honor, with confirmation from Corey.
Well, let me double check. I may be in error, and that's not unusual. Okay. Let me check again, please, sir. What date, Sergeant, please?
Madam Clerk, do you know that? Do you see the exhibits being filed?
I do not, Your Honor.
I don't either. Sergeant, we can't find what you have filed. Well,
Your Honor, all I have is the cover sheet from Corey that says she got it for all three of my cases for today.
okay. I can't quite see that, but I believe that you sent it to Corey. You don't know what she did at that point.
She said she submitted it this morning for this case, and does he have another that he wants in as well? So I've sent all three of them in.
When you say she submitted it this morning, so you sent it to her back in December and she would have just filed it today?
No, this was her response was from December 29th at 9:56 a.m. So I'm assuming she sent it that day. It says I submitted it this morning.
Okay. Well, I don't see the exhibits, Mr. Carney, but I don't want to rule on this based on some filing error or confusion on our part. I'm looking in Smart Bench. Madam Clerk, I think maybe looking in Showcase, and I just don't see it. So I can reserve ruling until we have a chance to review the documents, or better yet, continue this to give you another opportunity to get them and to review them yourself.
I would like to, well, or judge, it might consider a withhold of adjudication for this individual and some level of school.
Sergeant, what do you say about that?
Whatever you want to do with that, Judge, I'm always good with that.
All right, so Mr. Carney, I can't speak to your other two cases. All right, sorry, those are Sergeant Ruth has two more cases. But you're telling me that you would enter a plea of no contest and waive the right to review those exhibits at a later date?
Yes, with the
All right.
resolution.
So the plea of no contest is accepted, Madam Clerk, on Varula. It's a withhold, $250 plus costs and a 4-hour course.
All right, that's fine.
Now, Mr. Carney, I know you have one other case, and let's recall that.
Yes, sir.
That's Vincent Blott. Is that with Captain Gideon, I believe?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I'm on a different computer now, but I'm here.
All right, very good. So we do have Captain Gideon's here on Blott. Mr. Carney, you ready to proceed?
We'll go ahead, sir.
All right, Captain, will you please raise your right hand to take an oath? Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do, sir.
All right, thank you. Will you tell me about this incident, please?
On September 16th, 2020, at approximately 5:19 p.m., I was traveling southbound on I-75 in the center lane at approximately the 114 mile marker in Collier County. I was passed by a white Mercedes convertible that came up on my right side. I observed him coming up behind me at a high rate of speed, estimating about approximately 100 miles an hour. He passed on my right, he cut over in front of me and began to pass other traffic, and this is during rush hour. But he would run up on the back of other traffic, tailgate, and then get around the traffic and take off again. I began to speed up and to pace clock the Mercedes, about which time I got passed by a Jeep, and I'm in an unmarked Explorer. So I got passed on my left by a Jeep that was catching up to the Mercedes. So I began to clock the two vehicles together, pacing them, and we got up to a speed almost 120 miles an hour. I was able to get alongside both vehicles and point them over. Both vehicles stopped on the right shoulder.
I approached the driver's door of the Mercedes, asked for his driver's license, registration, and insurance information. And Mr. Vincent Lott provided his Florida driver's license with picture on it. I asked him why he was in such a hurry. Mr. Blott said that he was just messing around and he knew better. I explained to him that I could probably borderline taking him to jail for the way he was driving during rush hour traffic. I issued the citation for 119 miles an hour to both vehicles, the Jeep and the Mercedes. And like I said, this all happened in Collier County.
I know that you said your initial visual estimate was 100.
Yes,
and then
sir.
you paced both vehicles at 120 and confirmed at 119. And the speed
Yes,
limit at that location was what?
70 miles an hour, sir.
All right, thank you. Cross?
You were moving at the time, sir?
Yes, sir. I was, in my notes, I was traveling almost 78 miles an hour when I was passed on my right by the Mercedes.
All right, and your training for speed detection and so forth, does it require you to visually estimate speed? You've had training for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and when you visually estimate a speed, are you supposed, is your estimation to come within a range of what you believe the actual speed you cited for?
Yes, sir. And like I said, when he approached me from behind, I estimated him approximately 100. He was in heavier traffic. And when he went around me is when he started to accelerate from 100. And that's why I was able to get him up close to 120. So he was accelerating after he passed me.
All right. And the other vehicle that you stopped, did you estimate its speed also?
Yes, sir, I did.
Do you recall what that estimation was?
Well, I knew he was doing every bit of 100 because that's what I was going when he went by me.
All right. Well, and so you stopped both vehicles at the time?
Yes, sir.
All right, fine. I have no further questions, sir. Judge.
All right, any argument?
Well, Judge, I do believe I cannot cite you the case at this time or the statute, but I do believe that the speed measuring device is only supposed to be used for one vehicle at a time. And if you would allow me to, or if you would reserve ruling, I would like to file a written motion regarding that issue.
Not going to do that, but I will explain that further in just a minute. Based on the testimony I've heard, I do find that the infraction did occur. I'm about to impose a sentence, so I'm not going to reserve ruling. But if you find some authority to the contrary, Mr. Carney, you feel free to file a motion for reconsideration. So that opportunity is still available to you. So it is an adjudication of guilt, a $400 fine plus costs, and an 8-hour course. Thank you, Captain, and thank you, Mr. Carney.
All right, that's what I have today, sir. I know you have many calls. Thank you.
Where do you think?
Thank you,
Your Honor, Corporal
Kennedy, if I may. Disposition indicate that subject to reconsideration, sir, or the
Madam
minutes.
Clerk, can you? All right, we can add that, Madam Clerk. Subject to reconsideration upon motion by if the defense files it.
All right, that's fine.
Because she's got them all stapled together.
All right, I'm listening to a conversation here, folks. If you're not talking to me, put yourself on mute, please. Attorney Alpizar.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is Corporal Kennedy. I apologize for interruption. I have a dealing hearing about any minute now. If that could be called quickly, Your Honor, I appreciate that so I can take care of my dealing hearing.
Hold on. You have a what hearing?
Driver's license, Board of Administrative Reviews hearing for a DOI.
Okay, well, let me see. Is Attorney Alpizar here? On David Amadar. Corporal Kennedy, who do you have?
I have a Joseph Barrow, 1120 TR 017549.
Mr. Burrow, are you here?
We're looking for Samuel Bernanos.
All right, Samuel.
Mr. Burrow, are you here? Joseph Burrow. Folks, please put your audio on mute.
C820, Your Honor.
Okay, hold on. If you're not involved in this case, please put your audio on mute. Joseph Burrow. The Galaxy what?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, where are you?
Oh, right here at the courthouse.
Are you Galaxy A20?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you're Mr. Burrow, right?
Yes, sir.
You're here on a speeding ticket. I need you and Corporal Kennedy to raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put your hand down. Corporal Kennedy, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. On August 8th, 2020 at 6:54 p.m., I was working as a DUI task force member of the Collier County Sheriff's Office Special Operations. While facing north, I'm sorry, this is a deal hearing. 1 second, Your Honor, I apologize. Corporal Kennedy.
No. I'm on unlawful speeding.
Right, and the officer is telling us about that ticket, and then you can tell me your side of the story in just a minute.
Can I have just 2 seconds, ma'am? I'm doing another hearing someplace else. Can you have just 2 seconds, please? Hearing officer. No, this is Corporal Kennedy. Can I have you just give me
Why don't you go
2
do
minutes
that,
so I can
Corporal?
finish my traffic court, ma'am?
You can do that one
she's gonna
first,
call me back.
Corporal
Thank
Kennedy.
I apologize, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was facing north on 25th Street Southwest. I observed a gray Ford utility traveling behind me going north at what I visually estimated was 65 miles an hour. I activated my stalker radar and received a solid tone with 64 miles an hour and a 30-mile-an-hour speed zone. I stopped the vehicle, identified the driver as Joseph Burrow with a driver's license, issued a citation for going 64 and a 30. This occurred in Collier County.
Tell me your visual estimate again.
I visually estimated 65, and I got a solid Doppler radar at 64.
And how did you identify the driver?
By his full driver's license.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Burrow, is there anything you want to say?
Yes, sir. I was speeding, and I apologize. I apologize to the officer that day. My vehicle was stolen. I was fixing it, and my throttle got stuck, and I was trying to get it off. And he's like, well, you got an unlawful vehicle. I'm like, no, I'm just trying to fix it, you know? I mean, it wasn't my fault it got stolen, but yes, sir, I was speeding.
All right, thank you. Based on the testimony, I find the infraction did occur. Adjudication, 200 plus costs and a 4-hour course. Thank you both.
Sir.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right.
Whoa!
Mr. Haynes, Attorney Haynes. For Avalos, how about Attorney Lay, L-E-Y, Alejandro Lay? Are you here?
Oh.
How about Jack? No, let's see. How about Mr. Mursky?
I'm here, Judge. Good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon to you. Mr. Mursky has Giovanni Moscoso. And who's here on this case? Looks like we've got witnesses. This is a crash. Do we have Officer Collins with NPD? Officer Collins, are you here? Officer Collins, are you
Your
here?
Honor, this is Kate Mindak, the court liaison for NPD. We
Okay.
didn't have Officer Collins on for today. I have Officer Shikfis, I have Sergeant Razalou, and
Well, that's okay. I
Officer
don't wanna-
Lusmo.
Okay, so you do not have an Officer Collins. We've got a crash case here, Giovanni Moscoso, who was apparently involved in a crash. And I've got civilian witnesses. If I call your name as a witness, please take your audio off mute. Jason Castor, Kellyanne Porsche, Kellen Ibeth. You can take your audio.
Jason Castor.
Ma'am, I see you waving. You don't need to keep waving. Just take yourself off audio if you're involved in this case.
Hello.
Okay, I see you. You don't have to keep waving. What's your name?
Only Spanish, no English. My
Okay,
name is
thank you.
Kelly.
Kelly who?
Kelly Yvette.
Okay, so she is a witness in this case. Mr. Castor, did I hear you somewhere?
No English.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so we have Jason Castor here. We have Kellen Ebeth here. How about Kellyanne Porsche?
Me.
With
Yes,
Mr.
yes, sir.
Castor.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And we've got Mr. Mirsky representing the defendant who's here as well, but the Naples police officer involved is not here. I do see a subpoena that was issued to Mr. Collins, Officer Collins, for today's date at 1:30. So back to the liaison, I'm curious what happened, because there was some problem. He's been subpoenaed. This was mailed out. I'm not sure when, back in November.
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I didn't see him on the docket today, and he should be here.
He should be here. That
He has a subpoena,
creates
yes.
a problem. That creates a problem. We've got an accident case with 3 civilian witnesses who are here, a defense attorney who's here, but no officer. And so let me go to Mr. Mirsky. I'm sorry, I lost you on the grid here. Where are you, Mr. Mirsky? I see you. All right, what's your position, sir?
Well, Your Honor, if the officer has failed to appear, I'm going to move to dismiss the case. He's the only one that can ID the defendant or suggest that the person who was driving the vehicle by his Florida ID.
Well, I'm not sure about that. We would determine that during the course of a trial. Perhaps one of these 3 civilians can identify the driver as well, but I do need the officer present. And so the motion to dismiss the ticket is denied because, again, this is a crash case. I've got civilians who are here and ready to proceed. What I am going to do is first, with an apology to all 4 of you, the 3 civilians and the attorney, I apologize for the inconvenience, but I'm not going to go forward without the officer. And so this will be continued, not dismissed. And so you will get another court date. Madam Clerk, what would that be for this case?
It will be March 24th at 1:30.
March 24th at 1:30, and that will be on Zoom, just like this afternoon. I know that's inconvenient, but it's better than coming down to the courthouse. And so that's where we stand, and hopefully the officer will be here with us on that date.
Your Honor, I will
And
make
so-
sure he is.
Thank you. If you're here for this case, you're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Can you please recall?
It wasn't him because he wasn't there. Because he
Okay.
spices.
So, does anyone here, hold on folks, I can hear you. Does anyone here speak Spanish who can explain to this lady that she's free to go?
I can understand. Yeah, yo puedo I can translate.
Okay, gracias.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, gracias.
You can tell me what to tell her.
The case has been continued.
Su caso será continuado. Su caso será
You'll get-
continuado.
You'll get a notice in the mail with the new court date.
Vas a tener una carta en el correo con una nueva cita.
Okay.
So you're free to go.
Estás libre de irte hoy.
Okay, está bien. Gracias.
Okay. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Okay. How about Juan Alvizurez Juran? Alvizurez Juran.
The trooper here.
All right, this is Trooper Smirnios.
Yes,
Is
sir.
Juan Alvizurez Juran here? Trooper, I don't see any witnesses in this case. This is a crash
Yes, sir.
case. It looks like with serious bodily injury. Do you have any witnesses?
This is
who
connected
can-
with. This is
Pardon?
connected. Yes, sir. I submitted that.
When you say that,
That's
you mean
what I
a witness
submitted.
list?
This is a list. This is a witness list that I submit very religiously in every event.
I don't see it. Madam Clerk, do you see a witness list in this case?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let me
Okay,
take a look now.
give us. Sorry, Madam Clerk, what was that?
Let me take a look. I do not see a witness list or any exhibit in this case.
Yeah, we don't have a witness list. Let me ask everybody who's here. Is there anyone here who is a witness in this case? The defendant again is Juan Alvizurez Duran. This was an accident. It looks like it occurred on September 3rd, 2020, 6:40 in the morning on US 41. Is anyone here as a witness in this case? Trooper, I doubt it because again, we don't have a witness list, which means no subpoenas went out except yours. All right. So, but it sounds like you have one and the defendant is not here. So are you requesting a continuance so that you can make sure that witness list gets filed?
Yes, sir.
All right, Madam
Yes,
Clerk, we'll
sir.
continue this to another afternoon docket.
March 24th at 1:30.
Okay. Thank you, Trooper.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
All right. Brandon Cody, are you here? Brandon Cody. Is anyone else here for this case?
Your Honor,
This is
Sergeant
also-
Nelson.
Sergeant Nelson is here. Sergeant Nelson, I don't see a witness list in your case either.
Yes, sir.
And
I
it's a
have two
crash.
witnesses and a crash victim.
But did you file the witness list?
Yes, sir. That was back
I
in
don't see it.
a continuance, granted back in December or November.
I see I think a couple of continuances, but I don't see a witness list. Madam Clerk, do you have a witness list?
I'm looking, Your Honor.
Okay. Is anyone else here for this case? Any witnesses in the case of Brandon Cody? No. And
No,
again,
Your
I
Honor.
believe that's, sorry, Madam Clerk, you said you do not see a witness list.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Same request or same question to you, Sergeant. Do you want to continue this so that you can file your witness list?
Yes, sir, please.
All right. Madam Clerk, the date again?
It will be March 24th at 1:30.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Sergeant. Jack Fredsky
Present.
is present. Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And this is a speeding ticket with Trooper Diaz, who is here somewhere. I believe he's
Your Honor,
already
if I may.
testified. Is this? Yes, go ahead.
This is Trooper Suero. Trooper D is having problems with his computer. He's actually on the phone right now with Tallahassee to try to fix the issue with the internet. He asked me to let you know of that.
Okay. So let me go back to, and I apologize for the name. Is it Mr. Fridetsky? Am I close?
Yes, Friedetsky.
Friedetsky. So you may have heard what the update was. The officer in your case is having technical difficulties and he's trying to log in. He's actually contacted the state to try to fix his internet connection. So I'm going to give you an option. I'm not dismissing this case because he's trying to be here. We can wait for him. I can call you back later in the day, or we can continue this to another day. It's your choice.
If you could call me later on in the day and let me know.
Well, you're going to have to wait. Okay. So that just means I'm going to go through the rest of my docket and then I'll
Oh.
recall your case. I'm not going to reach out to you. You'll have to stay with us and just wait.
Gotcha. Can we just reschedule it on another date then?
Sure. Probably a good idea because you may end up waiting an hour and he still may not have a connection.
Yeah.
So I understand that. And Trooper, will you let him know that we're just going to continue this to another day?
Yes, Your Honor. I will.
All right. Thank you. Madam Clerk, what's the next date, please, for Mr. Friedetsky?
It will be March 24th at 1:30.
March 24th at 1:30. And sir, you will get the login credentials in the mail just like you did for today. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Yes, sir. And you're free to go. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Do we have?
Yerlin Garcia, police.
Is Richard Glazer here? How about Yerlin Garcia Feliz?
Yes, thank you.
You are here. Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And this is
what
Trooper
Yes, sir.
Trooper Waddell. Are you here?
Yes, sir.
I see your name. Okay, Trooper is here. Are you both ready for a hearing?
Yes.
All right, raise your right hand, please.
Yes, sir.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. True. But true,
I do.
nothing.
All right, you can put your hands down. We're going to start with the Trooper, ma'am, and then I'll give you a chance. Trooper, go ahead.
Yes, sir. On September 26, 2020 at approximately 2:09 p.m., I, Trooper Waddell, was on patrol on I-75 in Alligator Alley and operating stationary radar near mile marker 94. I observed a newer model red vehicle westbound at an extremely high rate of speed. I visually estimated this vehicle's speed to be 90 miles per hour. I was able to confirm a speed of 92 miles per hour through clear audio Doppler tone as well as visual display. I activated my emergency equipment and initiated a traffic stop on this newer model red vehicle. The newer model red vehicle was a 2020 Kia with Florida tag 24QVR. I identified the driver to be Yerlin Garcia Feliz out of Lake Mary, Florida, through valid Florida driver's license number. Driver stated that she was going 75 miles per hour. It was a clear day. All events occurred in Collier County, Florida.
All right, thank you, Trooper. Ma'am, what would you like to say?
Well, yeah, I put my cruise in the car as a new car as a 75 mile per hour. As I know, we can go over 5 miles in Florida. It was 70 miles per hour on the highway. And if the car went over control and out of the miles, so I didn't feel that. I didn't have no vehicle around me. And I got my 2 daughters on the car, and I will never put them in a risk, knowing that I'm going 92 miles per hour. So I've been driving since I was 12, of course, not here in United States because I'm from Dominican Republic, and I know the rules to drive on here. So I tried my best to follow the law, and I try to talk to him because honestly, to pay the fee, I won't mind, but I don't want anything on my record. And that's the reason why I'm here today, because we already talked last time. We already had a court date passed, and I talked to the judge about it. I don't want anything on my record that mess up on my name. And that's the reason why I'm here. And if there's anything that you can do about that, I would appreciate it.
Okay. I'm sorry, go, anything else?
Yeah, as you see my record, my name, my everything is clean, and I want to keep it forever like that. So
okay.
Yeah.
I did see that you have a perfectly clean record. Trooper, from the time that you made your visual estimate at 90 and confirmed with radar and then to the traffic stop, did you ever lose sight of the vehicle?
No, Your Honor, I did not. It's a distinct newer model red vehicle, so it sticks out pretty well, and sight was never lost of that vehicle.
All right, and was there at any point anything that obscured your view of the vehicle?
No, Your Honor.
All right, based on the testimony, I find the infraction did occur. I also find that you have a perfectly clean record, so you will not be receiving any points on your record. It's a withhold of adjudication, $150 plus costs. Thank you both.
Thank you. How can I pay that?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, you can just contact the Collier County Clerk of Courts and pay them. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I
All right.
appreciate it.
Bye-bye. Richard Glazer, are you here? Glaeser. Is Corporal Donzani here? Donzanti?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right,
I'm here.
there you are. All right, thank you. Sir, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. You wrote the ticket in this case, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you have it with you?
Yes, I do.
Where did the address come from that's on that ticket? Did the defendant give it to you? Or
No,
DMV?
sir. Or his address,
His address,
it printed out from his driver's license.
which he provided to you, right?
Yes, sir.
So the first thing I'm doing here is I'm checking to make sure he was properly noticed for the hearing today. And if so, we will proceed in his absence. So I'm looking at the notice. I want you to read me the address. Actually, you don't need to do that on the record. I'll compare it. So the address on the citation, it was based on a driving record, and he gave you his driver's license. And the address on our
Yes, sir.
notice is the same address that's on that citation. So that came from him. He was noticed to be here at 1:30. It's 2:31, and he's not here. At least he didn't respond. Richard Glazer, I can tell you that the waiting room is empty. And I've got
That's
no
the third time you
response.
called his name.
I thought I've called it before. Okay, so we're going to proceed in his absence. Will you tell me about this? This is a traffic control device. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. On September 24th, 2020, I was working District 1 patrol for Collier County Sheriff's Office and was in the turn lane of the facing northbound on Goodlett Frank Road at Center Street. There was no one behind me, so I was finishing up a call on my computer. I looked to my left to Center Street and saw a large white van, which was a defendant's van, almost come to a stop and then make a right turn heading south on Goodlett Frank Road. I made a turn, followed him, put my lights on. He continued for another almost mile, went through Pine Ridge Road, and eventually pulled over into the shopping center. I approached his van, and before I could tell him anything, he just went off on me, calling me every name there is. He had a young female in the passenger seat, and he kept screaming how I didn't pull him over for the stop sign. I pulled him over for what he said. And when he did turn, I saw his mouth move, but my windows were up. It was a hot day. I don't have no clue what he was saying. He refreshed me, telling me that I was saying, "What the fuck are you doing there?"
I don't need to get into all that. I just want to hear about the traffic control device. And the basis for that is the red light.
Stop sign. He didn't come to a complete stop. Made a right turn. That was it.
And this occurred in Collier County?
Correct.
All right, thank you. Based on your testimony, I find the infraction did occur. Madam Clerk, it's an adjudication, $150 plus costs. There's a 4-hour course and a D6 based on his FTA. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Next is Robert Haas, Haas. Are you here? With Corporal Canistra, sorry. Mr. All right, you're here. Corporal, Mr. Haas, are you here? Corporal, I'm just checking the different screens here for that name. I don't see him. I believe I've called this case before.
Yeah, this is the third hearing.
The third hearing, okay. And I've called it a couple of times today. So let me check the notice to appear here. There is a notice for today's date, 1:20 at 1:30. It's now 2:35. Just for everyone's reference, there's no one here in the courtroom. And this was mailed to him to be here. This was mailed back in November. It was mailed to him with the login credentials. And Madam Clerk, I'm looking at the notice and I see the notice, the address on the notice. I'm trying to figure out where that came from. Do you have any idea?
I'm looking, Your Honor.
Okay.
I honestly don't know where that address came from.
I don't know either. Give me 1 second, Corporal. I've got to make sure he was properly noticed in order to proceed.
Yes, sir. That's what happened last time. And then you said you'd send it out to both locations, the one that you guys had. I don't recall how you guys got that, and the one that was on my tickets.
Well, that's what I would normally do, is I would say send it to 2 different addresses. And you recall that? Is that what I said last time?
That's exactly what you said last time. You said, we'll just make sure he gets it and he was notified. So you sent it to the one that I have. And I don't recall how you got the other address, but you said you'd send it to that one.
And the one you have is the same one that's on the citation?
Yes,
or
sir.
Is
The Tennessee one.
Tennessee, yeah, okay. This one went to a Trillium Road in Fort Myers. I'm wondering if we got that from David?
I don't have any notes as to that.
Well, when I look at all of these different notices, this one for today went out to Trillium Road. The one for the last time also went out to Trillium Road. The one the time before that went out to Trillium Road. Every one of them's actually, this one wasn't returned, I don't think. This one was not returned. We've sent it out to Trillium Road. That's where we've gone every time. But again, this one was not returned. Madam Clerk, do you see that this one was returned?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Do you agree that previous notices have been returned?
Yes, Your Honor, I see where that had happened. I can fix the address in Showcase and renotice the defendant.
Well, but that's what we tried to do last time. What would you do differently?
I don't know, I will change it in Showcase. So everything goes to the address we have on the citation. I don't know where the address came from.
But last time, I'm sure that we were looking at the same notice here that says Trillium Road. And then I was looking at the citation that says Tennessee. And it sounds like I would have said, please send the notice to both addresses. And that's the corporal's recollection as well.
I just looked up in David, and the David address is the same as the citation address.
Which is Tennessee?
Yes, sir.
So I don't know why as a Tennessee Street address. I don't know where we got Trillium, Corporal, but we need to send it to that Tennessee address. Madam Clerk, do you have that address?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you made a note, so we... No, not, yeah, the address on the citation.
Yes, I can change the case to that address and have the notice mailed to that address.
So for sure, we won't be back on a Trillium Road notice, right?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Corporal, sorry about that. We're gonna have to try one more time, okay?
Okay.
All right, have a good day.
What date?
Good question. Madam Clerk, next date for Mr. Haas.
March 24th at 1:30.
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
March 24th, thank you.
Yeah. Edward Vignola?
Yes, sir.
You're here. Are you Galaxy Tab A?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Vignola is here on a speeding ticket. Is Officer Alusma here?
Yes, sir.
I thought I saw you. Okay. Mr. Vignola, I need to see you. Do you have video?
Yeah, I lost it somehow. Yes, sir. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Shoot, I'm sorry.
All right, I need you and the officer, please, to raise your right hand to take an oath. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is a speeding ticket. Mr. Vignola, do you want to have a hearing in this case?
Yes, sir.
All right, officer, go ahead, please.
Your Honor, I have no recollection of the incident, and I did not take
Okay.
any. So,
Well, I appreciate you telling me that. And what that means, Mr. Vignola, as the officer is well aware, if he doesn't remember the ticket, he can't testify about it under oath. And so I appreciate his honesty on that, which means your ticket is dismissed and you're free to go, okay?
Thank you, and thank you, officer, for the chance.
All right, thank you both. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Mr. Day or Gorman?
Afternoon, Judge.
I saw you, Mr. Day. Okay,
Yes.
Good afternoon. Jonathan Ogle.
I'm here.
Who was that? Jonathan Ogle
Trooper's here
is... Troopers here. This is a stop sign violation with a crash, serious bodily injury. Mr. Day, are you ready for a hearing?
We are, Your Honor.
All right,
Judge,
and so we...
Judge,
Go
sorry
ahead.
to interrupt. This is Attorney Josh Melendez. My client, who was the victim in that crash, Denise Donovan, is also present as a subpoenaed witness, just to let you know.
Okay, so we have Mr. Melendez here for the witness, Denise Donovan. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
All right, and did I also hear Trooper Castilla is here?
Yes, sir, present.
All right,
Denise
so we have...
Donovan's present.
All right, thank you. So we have the trooper here. We have Denise Donovan is here, both ready to testify.
Your Honor, the witness, Monique Mears,
Yes?
I just spoke with her and she's been having difficulty with the Zoom, so she will not be able to appear. That was my independent witness, Monique Mears.
Okay, so she
I'd
won't
like
be
to
able
have
to
the case
appear.
continued on that.
Okay. Mr.
Correct.
Day?
I
were
just
you
spoke
able
with
to-
her on the phone.
I got it. She cannot appear. She's tried. And
No,
so
I
the request
understand.
is okay.
I understand, Your Honor. Obviously, no one wants to have to come back, but I think in these times, we don't have much options. So I understand that.
All right, thank you. Mr. Melendez, what would you like to say on behalf of your client?
I believe the same as Mr. Day echoed, that, again, we'd hate to have to come back. I think this is the second time, but we obviously understand the difficulties and are happy to appear when needed.
All right, and I appreciate the understanding from everyone. I agree. It's not like she's simply not appeared. She's made an effort, but having some technical difficulties, and so we do have to honor that. So, Madam Clerk, we will continue this to another afternoon docket.
Yeah, but this guy,
if you can give us, if you can
this
give us
guy
the date,
could-
please.
Hold on, Ms. Donovan. Hold on. It's not time yet. We can't speak right now.
It will
Madam
be
Clerk, go ahead.
March 24th at 1:30.
March 24th, Mr. Day, Mr. Melendez, either of you want to check your schedules, or are you good on that?
That'll be fine, Your Honor.
I will check mine, Judge. Give me 1 second. I've got it here in front of me. I do have a couple of trial dockets, but with this weird situation, I could never guarantee I would be going. So March 24th, 1:30 sounds good to me as well.
Okay, so ordered, and everyone will receive notices just like today. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
All right.
Judge.
Mr. Golden, are you here? Attorney Golden? Attorney Alpazar? Attorney Haynes? Attorney Lay? Anyone? How about, okay, well, that leaves Mr. Todd. Mr. McGann, are you now Mr. Todd?
No, I'm just helping out Mr. Todd. He has cases in Lee County Traffic Court, so he asked me to handle it, and I jumped on the
Okay.
opportunity.
Okay, great. So all of the cases under his name are yours today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's just go down those and I'll call them. And I know that's the majority of the docket that we've got left, starting with Mason Gerhart.
Your Honor, I don't believe the radar log was filed in that case. I'm not sure if the trooper has that.
I do
Yes,
see
Your
an
Honor.
exhibit.
This is Trooper Taruz, and I did file it. It should be there.
All right. We would just ask for a break in at least the Collier County speeding case. I know he has a couple priors in other counties, but we just asked for a withhold.
Do you want to see those exhibits, or are you? I do see them. They are filed, Mr. McGann.
I believe him. I believe him.
Mason Gerhardt. So I don't show any priors. Are you entering a plea of no contest?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll accept your plea. Trooper, do you have any comments before I impose a sentence?
No, Your Honor. He had pretty good demeanor. I spoke to him on the side of the road. He was apologetic, admitted to speeding, no issues.
All right, so the sentence is a withhold of adjudication, $200 fine plus court costs. Mr. McGann, are there any others where you plan to enter a plea and that might expedite things here for the officers involved?
All of them, Your Honor.
All right, so I'll just continue to go down. Robert Gordash is next. Robert Gordash. And you say all of them, but some of them will be, if they are found guilty, in adjudication based on the facts, Mr. McGann. So I want you to be aware of that.
Yes, sir, and I'll speak up if I have something to say. On this one, we would just ask for a minimal fine if possible, and do understand that he has a prior driving record.
All right, so Mr. Gordash is with Trooper Benoit. I thought I saw him somewhere.
Present, Your Honor.
I do. Okay, good afternoon. So Mr. McGann, that's a plea of no contest.
Yes, sir.
All right, the plea is accepted. He's got an extensive driving record as far as speeding infractions go. So it's an adjudication, $200 fine plus costs, and a 4-hour course. Thank you, Trooper.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Samuel Granados.
Your Honor, this was a careless driving. With the car crash, we would just ask for mercy of the court. He doesn't have a bad driving record.
There are witnesses in this case. Mr. Curtin, I think I saw you here.
Yes, sir.
I do see. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Curtin. Were you involved in this accident?
No, my father was. I was the witness.
I was involved in the accident, sir.
You're both together. Okay. So this is a careless driving infraction. Mr. Granados has an attorney who has appeared on his behalf. Mr. McGann, did you tell me this is a plea of no contest?
Yes, sir.
All right, I will accept the plea of no contest. So to you, Mr. Curtin and Mr. Curtin, I want to explain what that means. We're not going to have a trial. They're not contesting the infraction. I've accepted his plea of no contest. The remaining issue is the sentence. Do either of you have anything you want to say before I impose a sentence?
I guess not. I was just driving southbound. I don't think he was paying attention. I was making a right-hand turn in my driveway. He almost flipped the truck over after he hit me in the right fender as I was proceeding to turn into the driveway. And I just hope he's more cautious in the future, as he obviously was obstructed somehow and not even slowing down.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your input. Thank you. And I understand your son is with you and he was a witness.
Yeah.
Mr. Curtin, is there anything you want to add to what your father just said?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I observed the driver as I was walking down to the mailbox. I guess it was just kind of like a right, at the right time, my dad was pulling in the driveway. There were no skid marks that I observed until after the accident. I would say that I also observed him probably being distracted, since there's obviously skid marks after it. But other than that, no, Your Honor.
All right. Well, I appreciate your patience, gentlemen. Thank you for logging in and thank you for your input. Trooper Rodriguez, anything from you before I impose a sentence?
Oh, no, sir, nothing at all.
All right. Again, I've accepted the plea of no contest. It is an adjudication of guilt, $200 fine plus costs, and he will have to go to driving school. That's a 4-hour course, and he's got 30 days to comply. Thank you all, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Mr. McGann, next case is Aaron Hernandez.
Yes, Your Honor, we'd enter a plea of no contest. His driver's license is suspended for habitualized insurance, so we just ask that you cut him a break and lower the fine on this one.
All right. I'll accept your plea of no contest. Is the officer here? Who's that?
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. So I've accepted his plea, no trial, anything on the sentence?
No, just that it was a high speed. He was 93 miles per hour in a 50 zone.
All right, it's an adjudication, 250 plus costs and a 4-hour course. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next case with Mr. McGann is Randolph Martinez.
Your Honor, we'd enter a no contest plea and ask that you consider a withhold. I do understand that he has a most recent similar offense.
All right, Corporal Virali, are you here?
Yes, sir.
All right, good afternoon. So the plea of no contest is accepted. Any input on the sentence?
No, Your Honor. He was fine on scene. He was following several other trucks from his company at the time.
All right, thank you. Mr. McGann, it's a withhold 150 plus costs for Mr. Martinez. All right. And thank you, Corporal.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next case with Mr. McGann is Cruz Moreno.
Your Honor, this was the one case I actually misled you earlier that the individual wanted to have a trial just because the law enforcement officer is retired and might not be present.
Nope, too late, Mr. McGann. I'm just kidding. And the officer is Corporal Greaves. I didn't see him. Corporal Greaves. Can anyone give me an update? Sergeant Ruth, maybe an update on
Your
Corporal
Honor, he's
Greaves?
no longer employed here.
Which means he's not coming back to testify in any of these cases?
Correct, sir.
All right. And so, Mr. McGann, you're ready to proceed. There is no state witness. So this case is dismissed. Madam Clerk, that's 20 TR 20559. Cruz Moreno. Thank you, Sergeant Ruth. All right. Next case with Mr. McGann is O'Terry, Robert O'Terry.
Your Honor, we'd like to enter a no contest plea and would just note, though he was driving a little bit quick on Vanderbilt Road, he doesn't have a bad speeding record. We just ask that his speeding record in Collier County be withheld like the prior times.
All right, the plea of no contest is accepted. Corporal, I know you're here. I saw you.
Yes, sir. Corporal,
Somewhere.
sir.
Okay. Yes. Any comments on sentence?
He was 68 and a 45 during rush hour, sir, on Vanderbilt. He does have 5 written warnings previously for speed.
Okay, so the plea of no contest has been accepted. It's an adjudication, $200 fine plus costs and a 4-hour course. Thank you, Corporal.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Madam Clerk, you good?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, next case, Mr. McGann, is Gennaro Perez Cuevas.
We would enter a no contest plea and do understand he does have a recent prior, so just ask for a minimal fine.
All right, your plea of no contest is accepted. Corporal Eisen, I've seen you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, no hearing, just comments on the sentence, if any.
I don't have any. He was pleasant at the stop, and the only thing that I saw earlier when I looked it up was 1 speeding warning earlier in the year last year, if I looked it up correctly.
All right, thank you. So it will be a withhold 150 in costs. Thank you,
Your Honor.
Next case with Mr. McGann is Marius Pugic, P-U-G-H-I-U-C.
We would enter a no contest plea. We just hope that the no contest plea would be to the original citation and not the amendment or affidavit that was submitted after the fact. And we would just ask for a lower fine in this case. I do understand his driving record.
Sergeant Ruth is here. Any comments on that? I don't see an amendment.
I think he sent correspondence to the clerk of courts wanting to amend the speed to 58, the actual speed, rather than the 44 he had put on a ticket.
Well, I don't see that. It hasn't been done yet, and you're entering a plea of no contest. Sergeant, what would you say about all that?
I would withdraw the motion, Your Honor. It was a clerical error. When I sent him in, I sent all 3 cases together, and they didn't get separated. So Corey straightened me out on that just a little bit ago.
Okay. All right. And so the plea of no contest is accepted. Sergeant, do you have any other comments on the sentence? I know he's got some prior activity on his record, but you must have felt there were some mitigators. It looks like you cut him a break based on the actual speed.
Yes, Your Honor. I would be good with withhold as long as he was willing to do a 4-hour school.
All right. Mr. McGann, you agree to that?
Yes, sir. No objection.
All right. So it's a withhold of adjudication, 150 plus costs, and a 4-hour course. Thank you, Sergeant.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Mr. McGann has Christian Casada Gonzalez. 2 cases.
We would like to enter a no contest pleas in both cases, and I don't think he has any prior driving history, so we'd ask for a withhold on both.
All right. The plea of no contest is accepted in both. Trooper Riley, are you here?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good afternoon, Trooper. So we've got a driving on the wrong side and a traffic control device, no hearing. Just any comments on the sentence, if you have any?
Just only he was traveling northbound in the southbound lanes of travel prior to my activation of emergency lights. And then he proceeded to travel southbound in the northbound lanes approaching my direction. But otherwise, he was very compliant, Your Honor.
All right.
And also,
and,
he traveled across the median.
Sorry, can you say that again, please? I didn't hear you.
I apologize. He also proceeded to travel across the median, Your Honor, before my activation to my emergency lights.
Okay. So that would have been the traffic control device citation. All right. So, Mr. McGann, you would accept a withhold in both in exchange for a school, I assume.
Yes, sir.
Madam Clerk, on case number 20, TR 17951, that's the driving on the wrong side citation, withhold 150 plus costs and a 4-hour course. On the second case, it's a withhold 150 plus costs. I won't make them do the course twice. Okay. Thank you, Trooper.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. All right. Mr. McGann, you have Eliel Salabaria.
We would like to enter a no contest plea. I did not see any prior driving history. We would just ask for a withhold of possible fine in a driver's school.
Trooper, are you here for this case?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
All right. So, Mr. McGann, I accept your plea of no contest. Trooper, this is not a trial. Do you have any comments on the sentence before I impose one?
Just that I would request some schooling. Speed was really high. I clocked him at 119 on a 70, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. McGann, let me just, we've got our trooper here and he's ready to go. So let me just clarify something with you, okay? I understand your request, but in this case, and I agree, he doesn't have any prior record, but I would adjudicate him and send him to school based on the speed alone.
Yes, sir,
and
that's
so
fine.
I just want, all right, so you still enter the...
Yes, sir, still under the plea of no contest.
And all right, and I accept that plea based on the speed alone. It's an adjudication, a $400 fine plus costs, and an 8-hour course. Thank you, Trooper.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Next, 2 cases with Mr. McGann. Yenercy Santos Nunez, 2 cases. Speed and traffic control device.
Yes, Your Honor, I do understand this was a construction zone and he was going a little bit quicker. We would just ask for withhold. If not, we would just ask for a minimal fine in the school.
All right, so you're entering a plea of no contest, both cases, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, pleas are accepted. Corporal Stinson, are you the officer on both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, any comments on the sentence for either case?
I don't think she's learned her lesson. She's got a warning before I stopped her in July for the speed, same location. And she got a warning in December, the 4th of December, after my citation for passing in the no passing zone again. So I would just like you to know that.
And those warnings are in addition to the 2 citations that actually appear on her record.
Correct.
So she's got a failure to yield in 19, another speed in 20. And then those 2 warnings you're telling me. So the warnings, in other words, I guess I'm asking you, those warnings are not the same 2 citations that actually appear on a record.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So again, the pleas have been accepted on the improper pass. That's 20 TR 22116. It's a withhold 150 plus costs. On the speeding ticket, it's an adjudication of guilt, $250 fine, plus costs, and a 4-hour course. All right, thank you, Corporal.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Madam Clerk, you still good?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Next case with Mr. McGann is Scott Summers.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Sorry, who was that?
I just said good afternoon again, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good afternoon.
Mr.
McGann.
Sorry about that. This was Scott Summers. We would just ask for, let me see here, just ask for a withhold and whatever fine you can impose. But we do understand if you do otherwise, just because of recent priors.
All right, so I will accept that as a plea of no contest. Corporal, any comments on the imposition of sentence?
No, Your Honor.
I don't know why I keep having trouble finding you. You're right in the middle of my screen. That should be easy for me to see you. Okay, so the plea is accepted, and I know you wrote this as a traffic control device, so that cut him a break from speed.
Indeed.
The basis is speed, and it was 68 and a 35, which I do find egregious. So at the very least, Mr. McGann, he'll get 3 points, I believe, instead of 4 based on the ticket, plus 3 prior speeding infractions. So it is an adjudication of guilt, a $150 fine plus costs, and a 4-hour course. Thank you, Corporal.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Next with Mr. McGann is Ann Viaud, V-I-A-U-D.
Your Honor, the only thing I'd like to note on this one, it was a FHP helicopter, and I did not see any type of stopwatch records filed in the court file.
Yes, Your Honor. Sergeant Cruz, I do have it available here, and I will submit it as well. I'm getting to learn how to do this, so I apologize. If you're not able to accept this, I can go ahead and resubmit and continue the case, sir.
All right, and that's Mr. McGann, that Sergeant Cruz is the pilot. And so we've got Trooper Benoit, who's present as part of this combination, and Sergeant Cruz. They're both present. And Mr. McGann, I agree with you. I don't see that they have been previously filed, but because they're both present, and
I was able to see the record as well, so that's fine with me.
Oh, okay. I was going to give you an option of continuing the hearing if you actually want him to file those documents.
No, that's fine. Maybe just in the future file it or something like that. I'm not too worried.
All right. So what would you like to do in this case then, Mr. McGann?
We'd like to enter a no contest plea. Do understand the speed and whatnot. I didn't see any type of prior driving record besides a learner's violation a couple of years ago.
All right. So I will accept that plea of no contest, and then I'll start with Sergeant Cruz. Any comments on the sentence, sir?
No issue, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Trooper Benoit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any comments from you on the sentence?
No, there was 2 occupants involved, or three total occupants, 2 passengers.
And the speeds, of course, of 115.
Well, and I think that's the egregious point, Mr. McGann. I just think that when someone gets up to that speed, they've got to realize there are serious consequences if you're caught. And so based on that speed alone, I understand she's got a fairly clean record otherwise, but I can't overlook that speed. That's egregious in and of itself. So the plea of no contest is accepted. It's an adjudication, $400 fine, plus costs, and an 8-hour course. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, next case with Mr. McGann is Christopher Welling.
Your Honor, we'd like to enter a no contest plea to this charge. And the only thing I would note is I think he had a recent prior speeding, but we do understand the driving. We would just ask for a withholding and possibly driver's school.
All right, your plea of no contest is accepted. Sergeant Ruth, I know, is still here. Sergeant, any comments before I impose a sentence?
No, I'm okay with that, Your Honor.
Well, I see 9 prior speeding infractions. I think that's the record for the day. And I know, Mr. McGann, you characterized one of them as recent. I guess that's a subjective thing, and that the one you're talking about was just from October of 20.
Yes, sir.
But he's also got speed, a couple of them in 16, 18. So 9 prior speeding infractions. This is an adjudication, 150 plus costs, and an 8-hour course. just to explain myself a little bit, the adjudication is based on the priors. The 150 I feel is a pretty light fine. That's based on Sergeant's decision to write this as a 54 instead of a 64. So that, I guess by way of mitigation, Sergeant Ruth felt that there was some basis for that, and I accept that. So I've lowered the fine, and the 8-hour course is based again on the 9 prior speeding infractions. So I think the school is important. Okay,
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So, Mr. McGann, don't go anywhere, please. Okay. I want you to hang out with us just for a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm not going. I'm also covering a case for attorney Scott Golden, and the last name is Daouid.
Okay, Bashar Dowd, Daoud, Dowd.
Your Honor, in Mr. Dowd's case, we would just ask that you look at the motion that the attorney Golden did file requesting a withhold, but if not, we do understand the sentence that you would impose.
All right, and this is Corporal Borchers, who's still here. The plea of no contest is accepted. Corporal, any comments on the sentence?
Yes, sir. He has 3 previous warnings in 2020 for speed, so this is the 4th time that year he'd been stopped.
3 warnings for speed in 2020. I also count 4 prior speeding infractions, not warnings, but actual tickets.
Yeah, I didn't look at the David for the ticket, sir. I was looking at, you've already been warned 3 times for speed in 2020, so base that on on the citation for that.
All right, and in addition to that, so you're aware of the warnings. I'm not privy to that. So those are in addition to 1, 2, 3, 4 speeding infractions in 18 and 19, improper lane change. So this would be the 6th moving violation. So it is an adjudication of guilt, a $150 fine plus costs, and a 4-hour course.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day.
You as well. Thank you. Mr. McGann, I've got 4 others with attorneys who have not responded. Are you covering for anyone else?
No, but I think he might have skipped over one of the individuals. The last name is Serrano Hernandez.
I don't have that name. Do you have a case number?
I do not. I guess the only cases there, because there was a couple more on the sheet that obviously weren't on the docket, so I'll figure that out later.
Can you wait? Can you give me another 10 minutes?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, take your time. Yeah.
I just want to chat with you once we're done here, okay?
Right on.
Okay, so let's go.
Sergeant Cruz, I don't know if you Walker Guy, maybe did I miss that or they're still in the docket?
What's the last name again, please?
Walker Guy.
I don't have a Walker Guy.
Garcia with True and I.
I've got 4 cases left: Amador, Avalos, Espinoza Gonzalez, and Mota, M-O-T-A. If you have a case number, Sergeant, I'm happy to look that case up for you.
I think that's Trooper Bonoy may have it. I'm not sure. I have 2 cases with him today, so I'll let him handle that then.
Trooper Benoit, you think you have something else with us?
Your Honor, I had one other case that was subpoenaed, 20 TR 022556. Defendant David Amador.
Oh yeah, we do have Amador. Yeah, we do have Amador. So this is, okay, I just opened it up, Madam Clerk, and it said pled no contest on November 13th. Judgment and sentence on November 13th.
Very well,
is this case? I'm not sure why that happened. I do see that it was set again today. I'm not sure why. Madam Clerk, do you show that David Amador's case is closed?
Well, I also shows that on line 21, vacate plea and sentence.
Well, you're in showcase, so your line number doesn't mean anything to
well,
me.
The plea was recalled and the case was recalled and they vacate the sentence and the plea that day.
Oh. I do see that. So on November 13th, this was in front of me, Trooper. I'm sure you were here with me as well. November 13th.
I believe I was on vacation, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I don't know why. On the same day, it looks like a judgment was imposed, and then it was vacated, and then a notice went out for today to the defendant and to his attorney, who is Santiago Alpizar. That's the attorney. neither of whom are present.
Okay, Your Honor. May I be dismissed, Sergeant Cruz?
Is this Sergeant Cruz? Yes, sir. You can be dismissed. Thank you. Trooper, is this case, I take it, so you don't need Sergeant Cruz on the...
I do. This is an aircraft case, Your Honor.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
But for some reason here, the attorney is Santiago Alpizar. Sergeant, just give me another minute here, okay? We may end up continuing this anyhow, because I'm not convinced that the attorney received notice. Madam Clerk, it looks like it was returned.
Hold on one second, Your Honor. I believe they go email to the attorneys. They are emailed to the attorneys. Hold on a second.
Oh, we can resolve it as well.
And so sorry. It did not get emailed to the attorney. It was mailed, but I don't show where it was returned to us.
I'm looking at it on December the 14th, and it's the address on the envelope is not the same address that's on his notice of appearance. So we are, gentlemen, we're going to have to continue this to another 1:30 docket. And Madam Clerk, if you look at the attorney's notice of appearance, it's a different address than what appears on the notice. So can we send the notice to the address that actually appears on his notice of appearance? It was filed November the 2nd.
We have no... We can,
Go ahead, Sergeant.
we have no issues by continuing.
All right, thank you. I just want to get you a new court date. All right, the new date for them, Madam Clerk?
It will be March 24th at 1:30.
March 24th.
Okay, so ordered.
Thank
Thank you,
you, Your Honor.
gentlemen. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I was going to be in Dubai on that date.
Well, Sergeant Cruz and I would like you to cancel. Okay.
No contact.
We will fly to you, Sergeant Cruz. Let's fly to him.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Let's skip a cycle then, Madam Clerk, and what would be the next date after that?
It will be March 31st.
Are you back by then?
In the air that day coming back, Your Honor.
What a trip. Wow. Okay, the next cycle, please.
It will be April 7th.
Perfect, Your Honor. Thank you.
April 7th, 1:30. We'll see you guys then. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, I'm actually covering for Mr. Moffitt. That was a prior attorney before Jackson Todd, and that last name is Espinosa Gonzalez.
Adalberto Espinosa Gonzalez. And this is a speeding infraction. Mr. McGann here on behalf of the defendant.
Yes, sir. We'd like to enter a no contest plea and do understand the officer did cut him a break with a 49 over, not 50. So we would just ask for, we'd ask for a withhold and a fine in a class, but do understand the recent prior. So we would just, if you're going to adjudicate them, ask for a lower fine.
All right, I'll accept the plea of no contest, and it is an adjudication, $200 fine plus costs and a 4-hour course. All right, thank you. I've got next up is Edgar Avalos. Edgar Avalos. I know I've got NPD there waiting patiently. This is Officer Schickfus. I see you. All right. So is anyone here for Edgar Avalos? Madam Clerk, there is an attorney in this case, Jerry Haynes, who filed his notice of appearance on September the 8th.
And it was returned. His notice was returned.
The notice, the notice to the attorney went to a P.O. box in Fort Lauderdale, even though his notice of appearance, I believe, is for a physical address here in Naples. Yeah, he's got a street address here in Naples.
I will fix that and renotice that.
Any idea why it would have gone to the P.O. box in Fort Lauderdale?
Your Honor, I have no idea. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Let me just continue to look through this. Are there other witnesses here? Is this
Your Honor, Sergeant Bijan Razalou, Naples Police. I'm a witness.
All right, Sergeant, I do see you on the witness list.
Your Honor, if I could just add, Sergeant Razalou actually handled the complaint or the incident. I'm the one that just issued the summons. So he's actually the complainant. He would be the officer. I'd just be the witness, technically.
I got you. So it's Sergeant Razalou is actually the issuing officer.
Well,
all right. Well, in any event, he's the primary officer, I guess. Whatever the title is, I got it. But the bottom line is we need to renotice the attorney. This defendant does have a lawyer and the notice was returned. And so we've got to try again. I do have someone in the waiting room. Let's see who this is. I've got someone connecting here. It says Michael's iPhone.
Yes, sir. That's me, sir. I'm sorry.
That's all right. What is your name, please?
My name's Michael Chapman. I'm with the Collier County Sheriff's Office.
What case do you have today?
I think the last name is Gonzalez.
All right. I'll be with you in just a minute, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So Edgar Avalos, Madam Clerk, is continued to another docket. Can we tell them what date it is, please?
It will be March 24th at 1:30.
Gentlemen, do you need to check your schedules there, March 24th?
No, sir.
So it's not for you, Officer Chapman. It's two others.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. And I'm sorry, no conflicts, right, gentlemen?
March 24th works for me, Your Honor.
Okay. So that's the next court date at 1:30. The next case, I'm not sure if that's also NPD, is Joceris Mota, M-O-T-A.
Your Honor, that's my case.
All right, so that's it for NPD. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's see. This is, I do see Trooper Morales has Mota. Mota has an attorney, and this is Alejandro Ley, L-E-Y, who is in Sunrise. Let's see if they were noticed, Trooper. I've got to do that first before we go any further. There is a notice to appear for today's date at 1:30. It's 3/18. This was mailed to the defendant and the attorney. Madam Clerk, do you show that this was returned or any problems with the notice?
Hold on a second.
I don't see anything in the file.
I'm looking and I do not either. I don't see any return mail.
Notice of appearance from the attorney filed October the 12th. Notice for the hearing today went out on November the 17th, sent to the attorney. So the attorney was on notice. The attorney's not here. No one else is in the waiting room. What we can do, Trooper, and you know this as well as anyone, is we can proceed right now. You know that what very well may happen is the attorney may file a motion to set aside and reschedule if I find him guilty. But I'm ready to proceed if you are with that understanding.
Yes, Your Honor. We might as well just continue it, given the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, and that makes perfect sense to me as well. So, Madam Clerk, another afternoon docket, please, for Miss Mata.
It will be March 24th at 1:30.
Trooper Morales, does that work for you?
Perfect, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, yes, sir. Thank you, and I appreciate your patience today. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, Officer Chapman, I think I've called your case, and something's already been done with it. Do you happen to have a case number?
It was Espinoza Gonzalez, the very last one that we did.
Espinoza Gonzalez, officer. Does that sound like yours?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, that case is already pled and it's been resolved. He pled.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. I do apologize for being late to the meeting. This is the first time using this, and I had to be called and tell about the meeting today. So I do apologize to you and the attorney, Your Honor.
That's all right. I appreciate you showing up to tell us that. But you're free to log out at this point. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, attorneys.
Okay. And Madam Clerk, I believe that completes all of our docket this afternoon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything further from you?
No, they're all done.
Okay, so we are adjourned. Again, Mr. McGann, hold on just a second. We're adjourned. I'm going to end the YouTube live stream. And Madam Clerk, Trooper Morales are free to log off. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.